Hello, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. We are back with episode 3 of Regency Remixed Tangled Web. Um, I am Anne. I am the facilitator of this game. We will be playing the Good Society RPG by Story Brewers Role Playing. Um, Surprisingly, I did not homebrew or add any extra rules to this game. We're super chill and it's gonna be great. There are no disasters happening currently. None
Oh,
at
none at all.
all. Um yeah, if you enjoy the content on this channel, there's so many awesome things coming up. Like tonight, for instance, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Arcane Core Seekers, our Monster of the Week game. Um, yes, uh, Keeper, Sade, and their gang are continuing on with the second half of their season two. One of the Girls Run These Worlds OGs alongside me. Um, so I hope that you'll go and come out tonight and support them all. I would also like to, you know, just mention that if you do enjoy the content on our channel, if you have, uh, uh, you know, Amazon Prime sub that you're not using, we would love it if you threw a sub our way if you can afford to. That will just keep enabling us to make more awesome, uh, femme driven, uh, marginalized, gender driven content here on this channel. And that's all we really want to do. We just want to tell stories. So if you can financially help us out, we would extremely very much appreciate it. Um, for now, though, we are going to introduce our cast. And we're going to start with Maddie today.
Hello, yes, I'm Maddie Searle. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be playing Lady Flora Drummond, who is the Viscountess of Featheringsham. Pronouns also she, her. And Maddie, the player, is quite sleepy today, having done a lot of traveling. So maybe Lady Flora might also be sleepy? Question mark. But she's also very excited to see the Spring Blossom Estate and find out what's happening there.
Well, I'm also very excited to take a peek behind the curtain of Spring Blossom Estate for everyone. Um, let's see who is next. I'm like, I know what's going on. We'll go with Anya.
Hello. I am Anya. Pronouns also she, her. I am playing Letitia. Pronouns she, they. And also, what's the sister's name again? Clara? No.
Clara.
Clara, yes. Who
Lady Clara.
is very dramatic. Oh my goodness. So that'll be interesting.
Give us a
I
one sentence, one
huh?
sentence overview of Letitia's story.
Letitia recently arrived in town. She now has the approval of her mother and recognition as heir, and arrived in town without the reported French fiance that they said they were bringing with them, which is mysterious. So that is them.
And next, I'm going to throw it to Liz.
It's me! And I unmuted my microphone in one try. I'm so proud of myself. Um,
Yay!
Hi, everybody. I'm Dauntless. You can call me Daunt or Liz. Either is good. My pronouns are she, they. And I am once again bringing Arden to your screens, Arden Blair, who is a hedonist of new money. Arden is. What is an Arden? Arden is possibly the most dramatic bitch to ever grace the countryside. Um, they throw parties that are much, much bigger than themselves. And we're starting to uncover that there might be more to the fantastic wardrobe and very violent pet peacocks that they keep so close to their heart.
Great. And last but not least, Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan, she, her, and I play Verity Everworth, also she, her. Uh, Verity makes great decisions and thinks about things before she does them in her head. But mainly, she's kind of a mess who ran away a few years ago to marry for love and adventure, and is now back hoping to get an inheritance or some other way that she does not have to live with her parents, and maybe stop avoiding Penelope, her old flame, because that's some messy business that she did leave undone. But besides that,
Great.
she's great and stable.
Um, she's great and stable. That is a tagline. All right. I swear I was totally ready for this. So we have officially entered our second cycle of play. Um, for the sake of the viewers, every 2 episodes is a complete cycle of play for good society. So we are starting to get into the thick of the story. If you recall last session, Arden discovered that maybe there might be someone, being super nosy and reporting things, making up rumors to the scandal papers, and our um, eclectic group of friends. I guess after that tea party, y'all are friends now. Our main characters have united in a common purpose to discover who is behind the scandal papers and how in the world are they finding out about everyone's business. uh, so I think the one thing we did not cover, did we cover epistolary last session? I don't believe we did. So we are going to start with letters, because who doesn't love a good letter? So to remind the audience, the epistolary phase, each player can write a letter from their main character or a connection that they play. And who would like to kick us off today?
Oh, okay. I have an idea. Okay. This is actually from Frederick to Arden. It is very like the best paper. Everything you can tell that he might use like a ruler. Like everything is very, and it's very short and to the point.
I've never been more embarrassed of a brother I don't have.
It starts like dearest sibling. It has come to my attention that you are perhaps bringing more eyes to a personal situation of mine that I would prefer stay personal. I appreciate your chivalrous nature in trying to protect me. You always have tried to protect me, Arden, and I appreciate that. But I I don't want your name to get attached to this either. Let me solve my own problems, and if I have to face consequences myself, I will. Uh, love you, brother. Uh, you see, like almost like he started sincerely. He tried to erase it very much because that seemed very with love, Frederick, not Freddie, but Frederick. But he paused about the E, and it's perfectly like you use like a bone folder to fold it and put it. It's got a wax seal, and yes, very official, but with much emotion in the ink stops.
Can I respond as one of mine?
You can use one of yours to respond. Absolutely.
Nice. So Arden's stationery, they have like the plain stationery and then they have the stationery. It depends on what the letter is for. So they take out the fancy. It does smell, I think, a little bit like spice as well. And they take like this ridiculous fountain pen, like it's ridiculous. And in big, the envelope itself will be addressed to Frederick, but in the letter it's Freddie. Um, hmm, how do I want to do this? What mood is Arden in? This is what dice are for. This is what dice are for. Okay. Odd, they're gonna be sassy. Even, they're gonna be sincere. Well, it was a natural 20. That's an even number. So, um,
It's a natural 20. They have to be extra sincere.
extra sincere. All right. No, I like it. I'm gonna lean into it. Um, they start a letter that's very sarcastic, and then they kind of just look at it and sigh, and they tear it up, and then they start over. Freddie, you know as well as I do that you don't need protecting. But you also know as well as I do that I don't know what to do but protect the people I care for. If you wish for me to back off, I will. No questions asked. But it deeply perturbs me that you should be under the microscope when I know all you've ever wanted is to lead a happy life. I hope you find a way to get there soon. And then, kind of, there's like a little unnatural space as if Arden was going to end the sentence there and then adds, if you're not already. Um, you were there for me when I needed you most 5 years ago. I wish I could have even a modicum of your courage. And hopefully, this new endeavor I'm setting on will make you proud. And then, love you, brother, Arden. And then, P.S. I've enclosed some apple tarts. If Romulus or Remus eat them, I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna fold the letter up, seal, and then I will. I'm gonna look at Romulus and Remus. I'm going to get eye level to the peacocks. I'm gonna go. These are not for you. These are not for you. Do you hear me? These are not for you.
Hey, Liz, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
You know that D20 you just rolled? Rolled it again.
I love this.
Odds they eat it, evens they don't.
All right, I'll use the same one. It's an odd.
Unfortunately, the treats you sent for your brother do not make it. The peacocks.
You know what's even worse? Arden would absolutely try to bribe them with like a treat intended for birds so that they wouldn't be interested in the apple tarts, but they won't. The apple tarts never make it.
They never make it. Was it a natural one?
No, it was a 9. So it wasn't great.
Some of it made it. It's already consumed.
Freddie's not brave enough.
Most a partial apple tart made it.
Just leaves it on the desk and stares at it for a while. I love apple tarts.
I don't love those peacocks though. No love.
And then just kind of in the garp.
Yeah.
Anya, Maddie.
Yes.
I have an idea for something. I think I would like to also send something to Arden and say, Dear Mix Blair, as Lady Flora, um, I was intrigued by your proposition of looking into the possible author of the scandal papers. I would perhaps like to organize some kind of regular meeting to share findings and discuss possible theories as to who this might be. And I will also be inquiring after Miss Verity Everworth and Miss Letitia Harewood to see if they are interested in such a proposition. Um, yours truly, Lady Flora Drummond.
Now, and I have a question.
Sure.
Can I have a letter I wanted to send like for my second letter, but I feel isn't it rude to not respond
Well,
to an invitation?
okay. So here's the thing, right? You can say that you've responded without, explaining the whole letter, and I'll say
Okay.
that doesn't count.
Okay. I was about to say
Okay,
yeah. Okay.
because I do want to say that because we have the visitation at the Spring Blossom Estate. There's also we can also set that up as like the other visitation for this novel chapter if you'd like.
Okay.
So everybody coming together after uh, the Drummond sisters have done their thing. So you can say basically we can say that that's the setup for that. It's fine. You don't have to.
Okay, cool. I
Uh,
was like, I just made this friend. I don't want to lose this friend.
no, it's fine. I'm loose with those rules. I just don't. I think the rule exists because we don't want to get too bogged down with like a million letters.
Right.
But Anya,
Well, Letitia being pen pals with Arden, Arden's just getting all of the letters right now, but would have, of course, just sent this very long, overly detailed letter to them, just talking about the details of the Walnut Estate and what happened to their uncle, and saying, I don't know if I feel comfortable with sharing everything that happened afterward in a letter, but there's something that I think you should know about someone who was supposed to come home with me, but didn't. And I would much rather talk about that in person.
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. Fucking forget my other letter. I was gonna be all emotional and shit
no.
for my character,
I
but
want I want that emotional letter though. Please don't scrap it.
Yeah.
okay, okay. But I have an emotional letter for you. No. Okay,
Listen,
I'm gonna save that one. And instead of dictating the whole letter, you receive from Arden an uncharacteristically short, but yet firmly to the point letter that expresses support for you, remorse that you have to be in this situation, and you are not only invited over for like a formal get together to explain.
It's
Arden,
Arden.
it's Arden, but hold on, I'm gonna just do dice this game. I think I'm gonna commit to this bit. Arden in the envelope encloses a very pretty but small ornate key. This leads to in their garden, I wrote this down. In their garden, they have a gazebo and it's like caged in. So instead of it being open, it's like gold, like yeah,
Like
and it's like
filigree.
trellises and stuff. And so you can like go and sit in there and it's like a private little
it's a gated gazebo.
yeah. So air still
Amazing.
passes through. You know how like a gazebo doesn't have walls, it just has the columns, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So in between the columns, it's like gates and there's like
yeah.
ivy growing on them. So it's private, but you still get airflow. I'm modeling this after one I've sat in. which is why I'm so frantic because I can see it in my brain and you guys can't. But there's there's like a very ornate like gate that you can unlock to go and sit in there, and you can leave the gates open, you can close them, but it's like a private space just for you. And Arden like would note that and how to use it, where it is, that kind of thing. If you ever need a moment to think.
Secrets. Okay,
Awesome.
that's great.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah, no,
Maybe.
I love it. I love it. Second round. Who's got another one? Officially.
I think I'm all right actually. Unless anything comes up, I think Flora is just kind of stuck in
Yeah.
preparations for important visits, so she's got her mind on
Yeah.
other things.
Absolutely. Okay. Cool.
I think
Um.
Verity has a quick letter to Lady Flora, which is just an apology.
Oh,
Lady Flora, thank you very much for inviting me over the other day. I feel I might have not behaved in the most good way. I'm sorry. I was just got very caught up in the Clara situation, but I think I might have given her bad advice. I don't know. It seemed good at the time. Perhaps we should talk about it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry again. I'm trying to be better. I'm so sorry. Verity.
Oh,
I think
this.
Flora will send one back, just being like, "There's no need to apologize. You're a dear friend of mine, and I'm sure whatever has happened can be easily remedied if there needs a remedy at all. And I would be delighted to have your company at a place of your choosing whenever suits."
Oh, that's why she's a
Oh.
lady. Oh.
Out of all of Verity's friends, Lady Flora is goals.
this is true. We all want to be Lady Flora when we grow up.
Not
I
gonna.
don't know. I
Not
think
gonna.
I'd rather be Arden.
Yeah, I
That's
think
fair.
like Lady Flora puts up good appearances, but like behind it all, she's a quivering mess. So
Arden just needs therapy, and then I think I'd be there, you know?
yeah, probably same for
And,
Flora actually.
Regency era therapist NPC coming. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I have a
Um.
question.
Sure.
Can I use resolve tokens on myself?
Um. The point of the resolve token is to inconvenience, make something messy for someone else. I don't think you need to. I think you can just make it messy for yourself. Do you
Okay.
consent? Do you
Yeah,
consent?
I
Okay.
consent. I wanted to cause problems for Arden, but I didn't know if
So
I needed to
Liz,
pay for it.
Liz, you just have to ask yourself deep down in your soul, do
Hmm.
I consent to making things messy for myself? That's all you need to do.
Absolutely.
There you go. You don't need to
Absolutely.
spend a resolve token for that.
Okay, so then can I send my second letter?
Sure.
So my second letter, Arden, I think after writing the one to Freddie in the morning, we'll go about getting ready for their day and everything like that, and we'll flit about doing whatever rich people do, and then later, I don't know, how they're not bored all the time. Um,
Yeah.
Later they'll come back to their desk and they will take out the plain stationery at first, and then they look at it and they just very carefully put it away, and they take out the fancy stationery and they take out their pen and they write a letter with shaking hands. Charlie, I, of course, miss you quite dearly. I would like to believe that you know that, but I would also like to believe that you are far away from here and me and all of the mess that unfolded between us. I do think of you often, though. The funny thing about a heart is that it's easily trapped, and you have not let go of mine wherever you roam. I know you wish I would be better. I wish that for myself as well. but every day I wake and find myself not knowing how to be better without you. And then there's like a long pause, and like the period that they put, they almost like drags into a line. I hope one day in the near future our paths may cross and that I might look upon your eyes again and smile. Because I have not found home since you left. Be well, be safe. I will love you eternally. And then Arden will sign in their big fancy signature and then draw a little heart next to it. And it's not their normal like ostentatious, like it's very much the signature that you would put on a note that you would pass to somebody, or like a letter you would slip in someone's locker. And they take this and then they press like a kiss next to the signature so that the lipstick stains, and then they fold it up and they put it in an envelope and they just look at it. And they go to tear it and they find that they don't have the strength to, so they leave it on their desk. And this is where I was going to ask to spend the token. My peacocks are trained to deliver mail. This letter was not handed to them, but they're free roam. And if Arden leaves the door a little bit open, can I say this letter, not intended to be sent, gets sent anyway?
Would like to, you know what?
You can please make it worse. I want to say, like, anyone, please make it worse. But
I would like to give you a resolve token for the peacocks to find a way to take the whole box.
Oh my god! Oh, so fast. Why did it so fast? Like perfect timing.
The peacocks have double teamed
with the cat.
Grab the
yes. Oh no.
Oh no.
To grab the entire box.
I love it. Okay, absolutely. Also, Lady Flora has been consumed by her pets.
Okay.
The cats appeared and it was just over.
I'm gonna give you another resolve token, Arden.
That is so good, and I didn't think of that.
Beautiful.
Arden would hate me, which is perfect.
So snapshot essentially of the peacocks just randomly waddling into your prancing into Arden's private chambers and like somehow ninja hopping from it's essentially peacock parkour. And
like I would imagine the box has little also handles that their beaks could fit in so they could carry it between them.
They've essentially found a way to get like from the ground to Arden's like desk chair.
Peacocks are person sized. They won't have to struggle.
Okay, then they just casually stroll in.
Yeah, they're like the size of a small child. It's really terrifying.
And they climb onto the chair like super casually and just like yoink with their beak just pull the.
They're pretty sure they'll get extra apple tarts for this. If one letter is an apple tart and a box of letters is a box of apple tarts.
Oh,
very smart.
They weren't even sure if there were letters in it. They just thought it was a box of apple tarts.
This box is not just like this box is years of letters. Like remember Arden said 5 years ago? This box is years of letters just smashed down into. Oh no! I'm so excited.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. Oh, my actions have consequences.
Hey, it's gonna be great. Also,
no,
who's playing Charlie? Oh,
You.
dang. Okay, now I gotta think. Just tell me to crank it down, tone it down. You are
Go for it.
basically in charge of the drama meter.
Full send.
Full send.
Full send.
Okay. All right. That might be a next week problem. We'll see what we can cram
Totally.
into today.
I'm
Um,
chilling.
right. So the peacocks have run away with this box. You don't know what they're doing, but eventually Arden has discovered they are no longer there. I need like
um,
a I need like a just a quick vignette like snapshot of their reaction.
um,
Can
I
I
hope
spend
this.
a monologue token to?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I wish to know Arden's feelings on this.
How are you feeling
Yes.
today, Arden?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, visually, I will impart. I hope everyone here has seen the original Beauty and the Beast animated film, the Disney film. Okay, the scene where Belle finds the West Wing for the first time and everything's just beat up and destroyed. That's what Arden does to their room.
Oh.
They they walk in and at first it's like we'll talk about their feelings in a second. But at first it's like the calm of silly me. I must have put it down somewhere. Checking the two places it could have been. It's not there. Under the desk. It's not there. Under the bed. Someone must have stolen it. No, they would never. And then just smashing things. Especially things that mean a lot to them because they're very volatile and angry. And when they calm down and they look at everything they broke in their hands and everything, I think Arden is betrayed. I think that's the first overwhelming feeling because if there's anything that they don't do, it's put their heart in anyone's hands. That's the purpose of the parties. And now their entire heart literally has disappeared and they have no idea where it went and they can't control that. And that terrifies them. That's the first thing. And then there's like there's like a twin intertwined thing. One is a glimmer of hope that maybe just maybe it will find who it's meant for and no other prying eyes. And on the other side of that coin is the terror that it will find the person that it's meant for and what that means, like what he'll say if he reciprocates any of it. So Arden is just standing there buffering, like Windows just buffering because they're overwhelmed. If you don't ruin your character's life, are you playing the game correctly?
I
I
mean,
Nope.
take risks.
the idea is using resolve tokens to ruin other characters' lives, but this works too. This works too.
Full
I'm
send.
using resolve tokens to ruin your life with your consent and just using your ideas
Yes.
against you. It's fine.
Full send.
Everything's good. Absolutely. Uh so I would like to start off with a moment between the Drummond sisters getting ready for this very important lunch that they are about to participate in, and their very big trip up to the hills of Cherry Blossom Estate.
I would like to briefly apologize for the cat sabotage that occurred. But yeah, now I think my cat Kippers has decided to do other things, so that should be okay. But yeah, I think for Lady Flora, the importance of this is weighing on her a lot because the Gardeners are a very important family. And also having seen that tongues are already wagging about Clara and Ash, that it's important that it's all legitimized and tied in a neat bow. So I think she will, in the preparations before going, she'll go to Clara and be like, um, now I'm sure that you will be on your best behavior, but I just want to clarify that um, I would prefer it if you and Ash were not to be left alone at any point during this visit. Is that amenable to you?
Okay. Okay, fine. I
Though I'm sure
understand.
if this all goes smoothly, then there will be plenty of opportunities for you to spend time together, um, in a more socially binding way. But at the moment, we have to tread carefully because um, I I'm not sure how aware you are of our parents' actions in the past, but they did not make things easy to keep our family name above board. So we have to do a lot of the legwork ourselves now. Um, but of course, I don't want to put all that responsibility on you. That is my burden to bear. So I will be making sure that that is all going to plan. But I suppose, and then she kind of tries to smile in a very awkward way and is like, enjoy yourself. And she feels herself like cringing inside as she says it because she doesn't really believe it, but she wants to. So
And Clara is very amused at her sister's awkwardness and just like gives her a light hug. It's like, you worry too much. Don't worry, Flora. Everything will be fine.
thank you. And I think she kind of reciprocates a little more strongly than she would normally, and then kind of brushes it off and returns to perfect posture and goes to get ready.
As you go to get ready, Clara pokes you in the back because you're too stiff.
And I think she just kind of like makes a face, looks around at you, just kind of gives you a stare, and then walks off. But sort of good naturedly.
Mm.
Um, so the question I'm going to pose to Maddie is, what time do you get to Spring Blossom Estate?
Whatever time was told to us, exactly that
Okay.
time.
No sudden hiding in the bushes anxiety fits along the way.
um, I think she'll have scheduled in time for hiding in bushes
Ex-
anxiety time. So that she'll be like, okay, I need 20 minutes to get up the drive because I know it'll be difficult for me to get up the drive.
I
okay, I love that.
I
Mhm.
have a proposition for a resolve token spend for
Okay.
this visit.
Okay.
Okay. I would love to give you a resolve token in exchange for, at some point, whenever you deem fit, Lady Flora actually like trying to mirror Clara. Maybe Clara is doing a little bit better in the socialization department because she's not wound like a spring. And Lady Flora trying to relax and be more open. And however that looks for her and like what that does, I guess it wouldn't be up to you. I just want to see what happens if she does try to relax consciously.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds fun.
Awesome.
I've added one into my sheet.
Um, so Lady Flora cleverly is scheduling in her her time to, work herself up.
Have a little
You,
panic as a treat.
you know, have a little panic as a treat. The carriage pulls up to the beautiful Spring Blossom Estate. It is the one thing there are several things everyone knows about the Gardeners and their beautiful home. uh, Number one, it is famously known for beautifully manicured gardens, uh, flowers, and beautiful greenery, uh, wonderfully sculpted shrubs. Um, and also, all of the siblings have like flower names. So, chrysanthemum, dahlia, caria, which is, I believe, some kind of Japanese flower. I don't remember the explanation for that one, but and iris. So, they are very much into beautifully landscaped grounds. Everything is meticulously beautiful. The manor itself is huge and expansive over 2 levels. Um, there's beautiful like ivy hanging off of the walls a little bit. It's very elegant. Um it's got like the 2 columns at the entrance, like the Tudor columns, I think they're called, like the really fancy looking columns, and it is a gorgeous house. And when you two walk towards the entrance, and you make your presence known, one of the uh, gardener, one of the gardener staff, a tall, lean gentleman, opens the door and says, "Oh, Lady Flora, Lady Clara, the um, we've been expecting you." And then you are led to a sitting room to wait. And if you'll excuse me, I will go and see if the Duchess is ready to receive you. And you have a few moments in this very elegant, uh, very neatly decorated uh, sitting room. Uh, it's very much like the one you might have in your home, but on a larger scale. um, and it looks like the kind of room that normally your sitting room in particular can sit maybe 4 people. This one seats like 8, in case there are a lot of people waiting. It's less of a sitting room and more just like a front room to socialize in. Um, and you are left there for a few moments.
I think that Flora is kind of looking around, kind of mentally taking notes of like interior design tips and just sort of like trying to figure out, oh, how can I implement a similar style in my own home? It's that kind of thing. And she also glances over to Clara to see how Clara is seeming, how Clara is feeling.
Clara is nervously fidgeting a little bit. I'm assuming that at this point she's met the gardeners before, but maybe this is her first visit properly.
You have met um so actually in reality, you have met Ash at the Queen's Ball at the beginning of the season several weeks ago.
Hmm.
So, when this is described as a whirlwind romance, that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Maybe 2 months. So, you have not met the entire family, but uh, you would have met the contingent of gardeners that usually go to the Queen's Ball. So you might have met uh, Ash's aunts or their or Uncle Carria. Like you might have seen the elder gardeners, but you've not been introduced to the full household.
Okay. Rocket decided that she wanted to come. Surprisingly, the gardeners also have pugs. No, I'm kidding.
Um,
Yeah. So
Every
Clara's just
family hero.
nervous and excited and looking around and kind of taking it all in. This is a lot more than she's used to.
you hear sounds you hear faint sounds of chaos. It's like controlled chaos, the type of chaos that comes with children from like a higher up direction, which you would think is the second floor. But other than that, things seem like relatively calm. There's a lot more activity than you would expect it. And then you hear a very stern voice that says, I want you all to stay with your father upstairs and tend to your studies. I need to tend to my guest right now. Please, just behave yourselves for once. And then you hear footsteps approaching the sitting room, and you are met with a beautiful, elegant, regal looking uh, black woman with like I want to say like micro braids, just like really elegantly made and just very well put together. Um, and you are met face to face with Lady Dahlia. Uh, Clara, you would have seen her from afar. Not sure you would have necessarily interacted with her. You can decide that. But you were mostly presented to society at around the same time as Ash. And yeah, so you would have recognized her, had limited interactions. Um, but you were mostly left to, appropriate socializing at the Queen's Ball, whatever whatever that means. You were trying your best. Um, and she says, Lady Flora, Lady Clara, it's wonderful to meet you both. Um, when my son came to me about you, and she smiles at Clara like in a very kind of half smile sort of way. I have to admit that I was a little surprised. But as you both know, being a member of the gentry, things can and do in fact move quickly sometimes. Uh, come with me. Please. We lunch is nearly ready, and I feel like we have much to discuss.
Of
And
course.
you see as the Duchess herself leads you to the dining room. You are not led into a huge fancy dining room. You're actually led into a more informal dining, like a smaller dining area. It is essentially like the Regency equivalent of like a breakfast nook, kind of,
I
but like
love that.
it's just it's a smaller, cozier table. That, of course, you all know that about how Lady Dahlia adopted 10 boys, so they don't all fit at this table. But this is the table where smaller, more intimate meals are had, and you're actually invited into this small space. And sitting there, Ash, um, you know, tan skin, brown, like messy hair, like just really cute, boyish looks. He is actually sitting at the table with a glass of water, waiting. And Lady Dahlia says, "Please have a seat."
Thank you very much for your kind hospitality. And if there's anything that I can do to assist, please do let me know.
By all means, this place pretty much runs itself these days. I would like for my guests to just enjoy their time here. And she looks at Ash kind of like there's a look of like combination of like I'm proud of you and also look what you've done. um like and then when Lady Dahlia finally sits kind of at the head of the table next to her son, she says, My least favorite part of the responsibilities of being a firstborn is the expectations that one is placed on us. I have done my best to carry the responsibilities that have been given to me over the last year and a half, but I would like to admit that some days there's nothing I want more than to escape my responsibilities and I don't know, perhaps maybe go touch some grass. Um,
That was
and she
me,
looks
not
at
Clara.
Ash. She looks at Ash and she says, I understand very much the impulse of wanting to follow your heart. It has gotten me this far with a family I love dearly. But in the positions that we are in, we do have extra considerations, things that we have to unfortunately pay attention to. And the only reason that I have the ability to make changes in our society is because I have cultivated a certain public perception of me over the last year since my coronation. But this isn't meant as disapproval. Actually, I think it would be good if we established some sort of familiar familiar familiarity between our two families. However, I have some concerns that need to be addressed before we can move forward.
Oh, of course. Anything that you wish to discuss, I am happy to answer to.
Not because I am not because not because I think that it is anything to look down upon, but more so because if I can help do some damage control or help you repair your family name, I would be willing to help. But is there anything you are able to share about those old rumors that I read about in the scandal papers?
I think it's at this point that Lys's resolve token comes into play, and Flora just like with her poker straight posture kind of slumps in her seat and looks at Lady Dahlia with just complete and utter honesty and says, to be totally and completely frank, uh, many of the rumors that have been flying around my parents are true. They were imprudent with how they handled their affairs with a charitable fund and took some of that, all of it, in fact, for themselves in order to fund their lavish lifestyle. And as a child at the time, I had no control over what they did with their financial responsibilities. But now that they have passed, it is my responsibility to ensure that the future of this family is upstanding and honest and straightforward. And I deeply regret my parents' actions. And if there's anything that I can do to show you that I intend that something like this never happens again, then please let me do it.
Well, It seems that you are suffering for the sins of your parents, and I'm not the type of person to punish for things that are outside of your control. However, I can perhaps grant you an opportunity to redeem your family name and uh, perhaps create a fresh start for the Drummond name.
That would be wonderful. That'd be very generous. Um, please tell me what you have in mind, if it pleases you.
First of all, I don't think you need to be so formal. Not not with me, honestly. Not within these walls. And then you hear kind of a clattering in the background and a couple of tiny voices just arguing it out, like almost like the sounds of boys being boys in typical play fighting, and the sounds of two older gentlemen trying to wrangle up the children and having, trying to get them settled for school when obviously they are not interested in it. Just, And then you hear a tiny voice behind you of a boy that says, Mommy, um, Birch is being mean to me again. And then Lady Dahlia scoops up little Oleander and says, I know that it's hard when you have so many siblings that are much louder and much more boisterous than you are. But I told you, you have to stand up for yourself. And you witness the most tender like parenting moment. And I think that's when you realize that, there is a very much a quality of like, I don't know, relatability to the gardeners. They have name and they have prestige, but this is like the first time anyone has really kind of peeked behind the veil like this since the adoption and everything. So, you have a little bit of insight as to how this is going. Um, and then she says, well, it seems like your younger sister and my oldest have become quite smitten with each other. I think that perhaps, if nurtured, their connection might look good for your family.
Yes, I've had similar thoughts, and um, obviously, I want to do what's best for Clara, and only if she wants. But I can, and I look over to see what Clara's doing, and I'm assuming, sort of looking at Ash in some way? Question mark.
Definitely watching him, but she's trying to be like best behavior, a little bit fidgety because, young love, all that, but she's trying to be better for her sister's sanity.
um, and with my sister's consent, I would love to strengthen the bond between our families.
Very much
Well,
so.
she smiles like she's just come up with an idea, and she says, perhaps if you were to throw some sort of events that would hmm, perhaps benefit one of my uh, charitable patronage, one of the my charitable organizations that I am a patron of, perhaps then your reputation might uh, improve.
That
Um,
that would
and
be
she
really
explained.
wonderful. Sorry, go for it.
No, I was gonna say, and then she explains the orphanage, the different orphanages that she supports, that where she's adopted her children. Like I think there was like two or three, maybe four different places. I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, so essentially she's like super supportive of, like, orphanages, and wants to so the idea is she's suggesting that if you support one of the organizations that she supports, it might look good for you.
And in Lady Flora's head, kind of two things kind of click of Arden's suggestion of like helping do a big party, do a big social event, and combining that with a big sort of fundraising charitable event. And yeah, I think has a she kind of breathes out a sigh of relief and um, says, I think I have just the event that would be able to help you with that. My One of my friends, Mix Arden Blair, has kindly offered to lend their expertise to help me put on a great event to um, reintroduce myself back into the community. And I would very much like to use that opportunity to benefit your charitable causes.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea. I I've heard about Mix Blair's wonderful parties. I certainly do not have the time I used to perhaps indulge in. And she kind of gestures at like a direction towards the noise of her life, and she says, outside of uh, my political work and my advocacy, there really isn't much more time for fun when you adopt 10 boys in one go.
I can imagine that sounds quite, if I may be so bold, exhausting.
It's worth every minute. Um, can't imagine this house being empty. I had to do something when my siblings decided they were all going to move out and have their own lives.
I think it
And
is
then
good to have purpose in life. Absolutely.
I believe that if we can make some positive change in our time here, then at least it's been worthwhile.
I agree.
And one more thing. And she turns to Ash and she says, young man, as much as I am proud of you, how many times do I have to tell you? If you're going to go off and do something fun without permission, you have to be a lot more careful. You never know who's watching. And then he kind of like rolls his eyes, and then you see the mother come out, and Lady Dahlia, like, no, don't you roll your eyes at me. I understand exactly where you've been. Ask your fathers about it. And then she says, as much as I support young love, there's got to be a better way to handle this. And then she kind of just laughs, and then she remembers something, and she says, um, we'll figure that out. I suppose the event for the charitable work, the charitable fundraising you're planning to do, will be a good place to properly introduce their courtship. And I'll have to figure out ground rules. This is my first time handling this sort of thing. He was almost 17 when I adopted him, and I didn't really have time to figure this part out. But I'm sure that he will make the gardener name proud.
I'm
And
rather new to this all myself, so I can empathize.
I'm sure between the two of us, we'll come up with something. And lunch, the gardener staff start serving up lunch, and then it becomes a lot more carefree and easygoing as you know there is conversation that allows the Drummonds and Lady Dahlia to get to know the sisters, and it's going great. There's nothing really
Yay!
bad happening in this context right now. uh Flora has managed to relax into it, and you know has made an ally out of the most powerful person in Avondale. Congratulations.
Nice.
Yay. So the other visitation I would like to do today um, is the group convening after this particular moment. Um, and all of you discussing the
Switch back to
the mystery, um and yeah, one of the things that gets brought up in conversation is that Ash, in talking about his experience with the Queen's Ball, you you know you hear different names being brought up, and woman he didn't get to talk to that he just saw in passing with a shimmery silver dress. um there's little details like that. You get the name Sophia Lovelace and some other names from Lady Dahlia of people that may or may not be a fan of the Gardner family. So there's you get those little tidbits of information that you can in fact share with the group as well. Um, but for the most part, it's becomes a very social conversation. You meet the 9 other younger gardener boys along the way. Um, I think the youngest one is like 5 or 6, and they're a whole range of ages. You meet them all in passing as they finally settle into their tutoring, their homeschooling, and yeah.
I think that yeah, I think Flora does manage to um be a bit more um loose with Lady Dahlia and is able to discuss like personal interests and things like that, and kind of feel a bit more comfortable, and kind of comes away from the experience um with a sort of healthy sense of kind of calm. And then she thinks like in a Rolodex, the next thing comes up and she's like, oh god, I have to organize this party, oh god. And then like just the endless Ouroboros of anxiety comes back. And but in the back of her mind she's like, okay, I've got something's ticked off, this has gone well, that's a good thing, even if another part of her brain doesn't really want her to remember that.
All right. So who I know that you wrote to people reaching out to talk about this particular mystery.
Yes.
Uh, so
Yeah.
are you in fact hosting this gathering as well now?
I'm happy to to either host or to meet somewhere neutral, like a tea house, or to go to someone else's residence if that would be better. Just kind of trying to think where would be like the most private, where we could discuss, or unobtrusive, that we could discuss things openly.
Well, Letitia's home is like, so Letitia is relatively new to the scene. Nobody really knows who they are, or like have they haven't thrown any large events, so they don't really know where um Letitia lives or anything like that. So there's an idea. Y'all could pile up in
Yeah.
Arden's mystery gazebo that because apparently Arden is like Batman.
She's
All of the secrets.
I
Yep.
genuinely love like Arden lives like Batman. Like like this huge house, and they choose to be in the darkest corners of it, flapping capes everywhere. I really love that. And not even just like Batman, but like the Bruce Wayne that looks like a wet kitten from the Batman movie, like that with Robert Pattinson. That's Arden. Yeah.
Okay. So whoever's hosting, someone set me the scene for this meeting.
Um, we can have it at my place. I don't want it to be if anyone else wants to host it.
It can be at Letitia's place. I'm fine with that.
Let's
That
do
sounds good
that.
to me.
Yeah.
So tell us about Letitia's home.
Well, they're staying with Esther, their mother's best friend, and as you walk up, it's like a brownstone situation, like a really nice townhouse. And as you walk up, you'll see on the right hand side of the door frame that there is a little ceramic thing tilted off to one side that is a mezuzah. Um, and anyone who is Jewish who enters and leaves will kiss it as they come and go. So the house itself is very well appointed. It's uh, just very very nice, standard kind of like what you think of a townhome would look like. Beyond that,
Um, I imagine there's not that many. It's not like a staffed situation. It's a smaller scale.
I mean, there's a few staff, but it's nothing grand and ornate like Arden has.
Okay. And who will be the first to arrive? Where's the order of arrival? This is
We know it's not Arden. Actually, because it's Letitia, Arden will arrive instead of 20 minutes late, Arden will arrive like 12 minutes late.
Ah.
It's 20.
Nice. I think Flora will be. Yeah, I think she will be precisely on time because she's not sure if arriving early would be rude. So, um,
Hmm. And I guess, oddly enough, I think Verity will arrive late because she's like, I guess, is this invitation for me too? I mean, it was sent to me, but I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna like look and see who shows up and see if they would like to see me or not. So she's just kind of like, all right, this is, I think I'm allowed here.
Hmm. You are very much allowed, Miss
Oh,
Verity.
oh no, I said it out loud.
Yeah. No, Letitia was like peeking out the door and saw you like hiding behind a
Just like,
tree, and it's like, no,
yeah,
no,
just like,
no, come here.
oh, oh, it's me? Okay. All right. And she'll like kind of, okay, all right, be cool, be cool, be cool. And then just kind of like try to arrive professionally.
Mm.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, both dogs are attacking me for attention now. Rocket. Hush.
Letty, I didn't know you owned pets.
Everyone
What is
has a
this?
pug. It is canon.
Everyone in Avondale has pugs, not just one, like plural.
All of the pugs. Hey,
Rocket.
you know what? Avondale is a very pro pugs town.
Maybe
Corgis? Nah, pugs everywhere. um. Anyway, so as your guests arrive, is there anything you'd like to do? Are you just gathering everyone up to have a
Well,
conversation?
other than having a demanding pug requesting everyone give them pets. Yes, Rocket, I know. Um, so Letitia would make sure that there's that is enough. There's plenty of lovely options for like little finger foods and snacks and things. Um, just a wide variety of options. This whole hosting thing is new to her, so she's very excited to actually be hosting people for once and being able to pseudo afford to do it, although it's on Esther's dime. But anyway.
Miss Letitia, this is a wonderful spread. Thank you so much for your generosity. I can't wait to try things.
As you are thanking Letitia, there's actually still one person like preparing the spread, so it's actually not the whole thing. So like, there's one person specifically just fussing about the table right now, and
Oh goodness, there's more of it.
You would
sorry,
think that
is
there
it too
was like
much?
10 people showing up, but it's just the four of us.
Well, uh, Esther just wanted to make sure that your event went well, or your gathering. I'm gonna go now, and it's this really awkward, like 5 foot young girl, and just like, I'm sure I can find something else to do. Wow, that is a lot of food. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye, and then runs away.
It's not, what's her name, Sally?
No, it's not. Not Sally this time. It's the other person that Sally works with.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
just Sally. Every time I think of Sally, I think of like Clue. Like it was Sally in the sitting room with poison. Like, you know,
She
I
would.
just she
She
would.
absolutely would.
I feel like she's probably in the kitchen just like having a real bitch fest, being like, "Oh, we need Mr. Tish with all her fancy friends. Oh, thinks she's so high and mighty."
They didn't say hi to me.
And then Eleanor, the really kind of mousy, homely young girl, is just like, oh my gosh, why are you so petty? It's just like,
Perfect.
just stop it. They do not get along, but they have to work together. That's in my head now. Thanks.
Makes sense.
It makes me think of from what's the show called um with the help where you see them in the kitchen, like there's the redhead who thinks that she's better than she is, and then there's Anne or Anna who's like, no, we're doing everything properly.
I don't know.
Oh, is it
Anyway,
Downton Abbey?
yes, Down Abbey. I've only seen like 2 seasons, so
Uh,
anyway,
mm, right. Exactly like that. That is the
yeah,
vibes
yeah,
downstairs. But upstairs, you are having a wonderful time talking.
yay.
You have things to share. Please share them.
Uh, so I was wondering if anyone had any leads on the whole scandal paper business and whether there was anything that I could do to help in terms of investigating this and coming to some satisfactory conclusion.
I I
I
might I might when I was leaving the party and having a bit of a personal emotional breakdown in a personal way. That's why I left the party. There was a figure, and I think they were like watching me have a very personal breakdown. And then all of a sudden, I see in the scandal papers a very accurate description of my personal breakdown, but that's not acceptable. That was my own. So someone was watching us at the party.
Hmm.
I mean, or it could just be an innocent person that I'm blaming, but I think I like my idea.
Conspiracy theorist Verity. I never knew I needed this.
Yes, it seems that they must have either attended the party or at least been nearby if they were to see all the things that they saw.
Yeah, there were quite a few things from the party itself, but there were a couple of items outside of the party. Like, I am brand new to town. I've never seen these papers before, but it doesn't surprise me. Everyone loves the gossip. But this news in here from my uncle, he was murdered by his son. Like,
Oh my
there
goodness.
wasn't there isn't anything truly truly newsworthy beyond that. So I'm not sure why that was included, unless they think that there's something more there that I don't know about. But I was there when it happened. I was there when the detective, when she solved who it was. So there's nothing
Why?
special about it. Not really.
Why is the reason? Why's the question? I think.
Hmm.
Why? What could they gain? They can't gain anything from me. I don't have anything.
I'm wrestling with if Arden's here or not yet.
I will.
Just
Mm.
because I think it's funny if they aren't yet, but I also don't want to derail.
Okay, hold on. I mean, that's your call if you want to. I feel like you should
Um, Arden will
decide
make
that for you.
a subdued dramatic
Oh,
entrance. Very subdued, very like calm, just, and they will sit. They won't,
So, did they
join
hear
in.
that last bit of what Letitia said?
I would hope so.
yes. Must.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just observing for the time being.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, really, I feel like all this person wants is to make money, spread rumors, whether true or not.
Yes, money can be a strong motivator for things, but I wonder
Hmm.
if there's some element of personal enjoyment that they get out of it as well.
It feels very personal.
It does feel personal. Arden like emerging from the
Oh,
shadows.
well,
Very Batman. How
Mhm.
very Batman.
This is
so
just the
cool.
Dark Knight episode. Um, no, it does feel personal because you can't profit off of someone else's misery unless it does something for you. This isn't an everyone being targeted, it's us. We need to figure out why.
Oh, that's a good point though. Who isn't being targeted? I think I think we need to set a trap.
Set a trap
Very.
how?
Huh. Well, I don't want to intrude on anyone's party, but Lady Flora, I'm about to intrude on your party. I think that is the perfect place to set a trap. It is the event. They will absolutely be there. And okay, I haven't thought too much beyond that. I thought maybe just have peacocks roaming around, but they'd probably just attack everyone.
They are trained to a degree. Whether they
Oh,
choose to use that training is not up to me.
oh, okay.
But I do have an idea, if you all are interested. I say, going off of that idea, we stage some sort of scandal, something salacious, at a very specific time and place within the party. And that way we can narrow down who would have seen it. We can try to follow the trail. Whether or not the person who actually pens the paper is physically there, we might be able to find their informant and catch them in the act.
Yes.
I was terrified it was one of my servants and that I had compromised your privacy and safety in that way. But after some vetting, I am positive it wasn't, which means someone was either invited or snuck in.
Mm.
All right. I am somewhat nervous about doing it at my social event because I've just promised Lady Dahlia to make it a fundraising event for her charitable causes of the orphanages. So to add another layer to that would be quite a lot, and you can kind of see the sort of slight the
Oh,
breathing is starting to get a bit
Oh no.
quicker. That
I,
should,
It would be something very, very small. It wouldn't be anything huge.
nothing to affect you.
all
We'll put
right.
it that way.
I don't want to put any of you in danger of damaging your reputations either, but I do agree that a trap is probably the most efficient way to discover who this person might be.
I have a mechanics question.
Sure,
We
go ahead.
can we can clear reputation tags to get a token back, right? Is that
No,
how
what
that
it
works?
is you clear a reputation tag because each tag has a token attached to it. You can you can essentially apply that tag in the scene in some way, and then you clear that reputation tag instead of spending a resolve token to offer it to someone else.
I want to ask this to you before I posit it in character then to make sure it makes sense. Let's
Sure,
say in the vein of scheming, right? That
sure,
Arden was going to make themselves the target of this scandal. I
sure.
currently have a reputation tag that says vain.
Okay.
So if I wanted to cause a scene relating to being vain in some way, is that a proper use of that tag
I
in a
think
scene?
I think it would be a great use of that tag at the actual scene.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
mean. That's what I mean. I'm
yeah,
just saying it the sake of like we're
well,
talking here about doing
yeah,
it, so I
no,
don't know if it counts.
yeah, no, that is exactly the way you would spend it.
Yes. Okay.
And
So
then you would spend that token to Lady Clara, whose party and reputation might be the most affected by that in the
okay.
future.
So ooh, and she does not know. Oh no. I'm about to lose a friend. Arden will kind of in the midst of this cross their legs and put down their teacup. I don't know. They have a teacup operated in their hands, so they'll
Yeah,
put it down.
they had a teacup.
Yeah, they always have a teacup.
Yeah.
I am not particularly beloved by all for my dramatics or antics, as they have been referred to. And to be honest, I don't mind leaning into that to cause a bit of a kerfuffle in whatever way necessary. Hopefully, the attention would be reflected onto myself rather than you, Lady Flora, in that case.
I mean, only if you're absolutely sure that you would put yourself at risk like that. I don't want to put you in a bad position, but also I know that it's in both of our interests to find out who's doing this.
I am aware of the gravity that a good reputation holds. But to be honest with you, there are far more important matters to me than a title, and I would be much willing to risk my good graces with anyone in attendance in this event if it means protecting the rest of you and potentially even them from future harm. I have very little to lose.
How does everyone feel about that, Miss Verity, Miss Letitia?
Only if you think that you'll be safe, Arden.
Well, it's part of the fun, is not knowing, I suppose.
To a degree, yes.
I fear in this scenario that we have a good plan that requires a sacrificial lamb, and all of you are very much under microscopes don't exist yet, do they? Y'all
Magnifying glasses, do.
magnifying
Under
glass.
the
There we go.
lens.
Y'all are very much under the lens of a magnifying glass at the moment, all of you, in different ways socially. Whereas for me, I am but a duck in the water. It all rolls off of my back. And if I incur any consequences, then I shall handle them on my own. I've been doing so for a long time. Arden does seem also very sad. Like they're doing all the flair, but it's very half-hearted today.
Hmm.
You are very brave, Max Arden. But I will make sure, because I I can watch. And if I have to chase the person, I will. Because worst case scenario, I'll just run away again. Like, I mean, I would love to rebuild a life, but I mean, I could also just leave. So I'm all in. I'm all in. I will punch someone if I need to. Well, I
Maybe
learned a
don't
few
go
things when we
that
were traveling.
far.
Arden will kind of take your fists and then
Yeah.
just try to clasp your hand,
Oh,
like,
okay. Yes.
but mostly to get you to stop making fists. Um, and just kind of squeeze your hands
I won
and give
more
you a nod.
matches than I lost, just so you know.
I have questions.
I
I
do
there you are a well of mystery,
Oh,
Miss Everworth.
thank you.
Um, I am gonna say the there are of like in the context of your game, it may seem like all of the rumors are just about you, but the papers themselves cover like a variety of different people. Just don't have time to cover all of the rumors. So,
That's fair.
uh, you do get the sense that they are targeting um, just members of the gentry and the peerage that have put themselves out there, lords, ladies, of very public figures. You don't see much about like career people as much, but it's yeah, I just wanted to correct something there because it's
Okay.
yeah, so you're not specifically targeted. There are
Yeah, but there
other
were a
lords and ladies and
significant number of
yeah,
rumors
no,
surrounding us. So,
That
don't
one was
don't
very
don't worry.
like
They went really hard at you, but yeah, they're
well, we're putting
y'all
TMZ
are
out of business today. So
this is the Regency version of TMZ.
get a job.
There's
Paparazzi
that
is not a job.
there's that
This is
one
the
guy who's always just
Mhm.
like sipping tea and talking. Oh, it's the worst.
predecessor. This is the predecessor to TMZ, the
It's the
Regency
worst.
era version. Um, yeah, I just wanted to make that note. If you have read the papers in the past, you will have seen the gardener's name dropped on there a few times too. That
Hmm.
you're either important socially or important politically. That's how you get noticed. Yeah. Is there anything else people would like to talk about?
we should just keep our eyes and ears open.
Yes.
So, spread the rumor to just a few people, Arden, and then, or whatever it is that you're going to do. And then we'll see where it disseminates. I think that's the best plan.
I okay. I think what I'll do then is I'm of the mind. I've heard. I am aware mostly of what the general public seems to say and think of me, and there's a conception that I am a very vain, self-absorbed person. Um, and there, to me, is nothing wrong with using that to my advantage, because as far as the public knows, that is true. So I think I will throw a tantrum at the party, and we'll see how it goes. And perhaps maybe even prior to it, I will stoke the flames that I am intolerable and just awful to be around.
You're so intolerable, darling. I just can't stand you.
I can't live under these conditions.
Ugh.
Everything is awful. However, will I survive?
And Letitia picks up a little pastry and puts it on a tiny little plate and says, "Have a lemon tart."
Lemon. Do you know what lemon does to my complexion? They are like actively taking the tart from you. My complexion can't survive lemon.
Mm.
Oh, that's amazing. If there aren't any other things to cover, I believe we have made it to the end of our novel chapter. Yay! Yeah. There is perhaps one thing left to do before we end the stream. You know what that is? Spread more rumors! Ah! Of course, the fun part about this particular variation is that you can decide if your character has spread these rumors or helped spread these rumors, which means you guys can actually get in the game and start planting rumors to mess with the person or people who are putting this together.
I have an
Mm.
out of character amendment to the plan very quickly because I realize I
Sure,
don't know if it makes sense.
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so we have the plan being Arden's going to cause a scene, and we're going to see who's watching the scene and like maybe does something suspicious in the crowd and be like, that one! And Verity's going to linebacker tackle whoever it is. I love this plan, mostly because I want to see Verity do that. Um, but does it make sense instead to maybe plant a rumor that Arden will have a tantrum and then see who's following them?
Mm.
I like
Or maybe,
that.
Or
or
like something,
maybe,
I don't know.
or maybe something to do with Arden having thrown rumor or tantrums in the past of something,
Arden is very
or
easy
like,
to provoke.
or like Arden is a terrible boss and
Well,
staff
that one
people.
can't be proven. That one they just see Arden being like, take a break. Don't
Yeah,
come
that's
back. You're
true.
being
People
paid for
love
the
a
rest of
little.
your life.
No, that
Yeah.
one, or yeah, no, something about, yeah, no, you can definitely start kind of spreading, setting that up. Because the thing
Okay.
is, y'all are important either socially or politically as, you know, a Viscountess. So, or you've just put a target on yourself by being yourself, Verity. So, people people will know, or that whole thing with your uncle. People know about you somehow. So, you can use that to your advantage as well.
Um. Okay. Yeah. So for my rumor, then I'm gonna plant a rumor that Arden is a whiny little piss baby and is very easy to provoke. If that gets in there verbatim, it's fine. But like very easy to provoke into a tantrum. Like they're terrible to
Okay.
be around, especially at events, and it's easy to get them to freak out. Because I really want somebody to, I kind of just think it would be funny to have somebody following me around and like
Um,
pushing stuff
Arden
over just to see.
Arden is a whiny man child and easily provoked into a tantrum.
Yes, and Arden themselves will spread that rumor with the help of their staff, because
Okay.
everyone in the staff gossip a lot. You hear it from the kitchens; it's probably
Mhm.
true.
Okay. So that okay, so now that it's there, um yeah, you can like you can either spread the rumor. Okay, so everybody has 2 turns, right? So are you gonna also use your second turn to then spread it?
Let me think
Is
about
that
it.
what I'm hearing? Okay, so I've written it down. That's your first turn. Maddie?
Um, kind of just for fun, I would like to spread a rumor about Romulus and Remus, just being like, Arden keeps these vicious peacocks that attack anyone who displeases them, or something like that.
Um,
Stone cold fact.
on
I don't know if it's a
the
You're just
rumor.
reporting the news.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
just yeah, I think Flora is very truth oriented and wants to go for something that's believable.
if we
trained
just
by
submitted
Arden to
facts to the
dispatch.
paper, it's just a newspaper. At that point, we'll put them
Romulus
out of
and
business.
Remus are vicious murder peacocks trained by Arden to dispatch enemies.
Arden
Yeah.
is actually on a Batman arc on accident.
Yeah, I
How
think
did
Flora
this
starts it
happen?
off as like the peacocks are a bit mean, but she kind of encourages her staff to spread it, and by the time it reaches like the other end of the staff, it's they're evil and they'll murder you.
I love it.
So like the so as like the, yeah, I imagine the staff just slowly embellishing the rumor before it leaves the estate.
Yeah.
There's like staff members, like,
Under
you want to know how I got these scars? Arden,
um
peacocks.
on on their Sundays off, they just talk about it, and that's how it accidentally how everything gets spread.
There's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
a few people who had like pre-existing injuries that are now attributing them to the peacocks. Too, like I
Um,
feel it in my soul.
Mhm.
I
Anya,
love it.
would you like to spread existing rumors? Because the ones from last week are gonna fade if they are not spread,
Well,
which means they'll
I
just be not relevant.
yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking that Letitia would want to get a little bit of the truth out there about what's his name, Walnut dying, and
Mhm.
I don't remember if she actually knows who killed him, but she thinks his son did. And so that's what she's going to be like, no, his son killed him with his
Okay.
nut allergy, which is hilarious because his last name is Walnut and he's allergic to nuts.
No nut household.
No nut household.
Sorry.
We're all a little nutty here.
Sorry. Okay, so Letitia's just like okay. Lord Walnut.
Just to like nudge a little bit of the truth in there, just in case someone tries to poke into her business, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got it. Um there it is. I got the words. Who else hasn't contributed? Megan?
Yes. Verity, uh, considering herself very helpful, is going to start
Uh
saying,
oh.
I think Clara Drummond and Ash Gardner, I think this is real. I think it's real love. I you can see it the way they look at each other. Like it started scandalous, but I feel like this might be a very good match on both sides, built of true
Okay.
love. I'm helping. I'm
Is
doing
this
good.
something Verity would have spread herself?
Absolutely. She's like, I
Got
saw
it.
them like at the party, but I've heard that I just I I feel I don't want to break any confidences, but like this feels like lovely, and we should all
Okay.
support it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love helping. Okay, Megan, you can either confirm a rumor or add another rumor.
Oh,
But
well,
the ones from last week are, or not last week.
yeah, last game.
No, session one are gonna fade this week, as
Oh
in
no.
like they'll be less relevant.
That's good. She also is also in being very helpful. She would like to either further spread or confirm the Arden is a whiny man child and easily provoked because that's her job. She's like, oh, okay, I got lost with
Got
the
it.
one scandal. I have to focus. She's like, oh, also by the way, like the exact same time. By the way, did you hear Arden? Like they're like super easy to like, they I, it's only a matter of time.
Until what?
Volcano.
Until Batman begins.
Yeah.
Okay, Anya, would you like to create another rumor or spread one?
Oh no.
I'm gonna say because Letitia thinks the peacock one is hysterical. They're gonna spread that one a little bit further.
Okay.
It just sounds
Um,
hilarious to her, and she's just like, "Yep, yep. I'm just gonna
got it.
spread this."
Maddie?
I think Lady Flora would like to spread the Lord Walnut truth rumor,
Okay.
because she was kind of um shocked to hear about the events from Letitia in the last meeting and wants to help out by um making sure that the truth is out there in an X-Files way.
Dun dun.
Okay. Neat.
I love that we're setting up like Lady Flora's party to be the murder peacock slash Arden loses it part. Like I feel like a lot of people are gonna accept those invitations. Like what? I could get killed by a bird or watch someone lose it.
Dinner or an event.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
people do that. You go to the theater. There's like
Okay.
the dinner tables at the theater. That's what
Liz,
this
Yep.
is.
you got
Yeah.
one more go. Are you gonna spread or create a new
All
one?
right, here we go. Um, odds. I hurt Arden more. Even I help with the mission for the party because they're two different. Wait, can I spread a rumor that's already been spread?
Yes.
Okay.
No, if it's checked marked, it's already been spread. You can't
So
double
I'll
spread
come
it.
up with a new one then. Okay, so odd, I make Arden's life worse. Even I contribute to the party mission with a an inconsequential rumor to help further the cause. It's odd.
Oh no.
Okay.
Arden is
You have to
going through it. This is why. This is like when
I am
Bruce
the bat.
falls to the Batman cave, like the cave of bats. Like that's this.
Mm.
Yeah.
This
I
is
must
coming
face
out of
my
the theater and seeing the pearls everywhere. Like this
This
is
is
really Arden is not having a
absolutely
good
unhinged, and I'm okay with it. Okay,
time.
so what do you got, Liz?
So I think Arden sits back and like washes their hands of this. Like, you know, whatever else people come up with, I will be entertained to see. Um, I would love for a rumor. I don't know who spreads it, but I would love for there to be a rumor about Arden being unwettable because there has to be something wrong with them. They get so many suitors, they don't accept any of them. And then I will kind of leave it if anyone saw the chest being transported or anything like that. Nobody would have access to the letters, you know, but like there's something going on there and it has to be their fault with everything else that's kind of spreading. Yeah, that's right. Arden, I'm just smacking them around. You know, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll recover. They'll
Hopefully.
recover. It'll be fine. I'm sure absolutely nothing unexpected or dramatic will happen at this party whatsoever. Everything's going to be so normal and calm.
It's gonna be great.
Yep. Everything will be
Okay.
perfectly
Well,
fine.
So normal and calm.
Yep.
I have decided, because I am the facilitator and I can break the rules because it's fun, I'm gonna spread the rumor about Verity's husband, and I'm also going to make Arden's life even more difficult, spread the one about their brother's marriage, which means everything's getting shifted to the front page.
Oh
Bam.
Dun dun
No,
dun.
not
Y'all,
ready. Fuck.
y'all are going to make
Oh,
front page news in the
oh,
scandal papers next week.
maybe Arden being upset at the party is not going to be put on. Arden might just actually, factually lose it.
Yep.
Hey, look, if it helps the bit,
Oh God.
If Arden, oh no. Arden's gonna look through these like, oh, but the Romulus and Remus, that's funny. Excuse me?
look, I got your enthusiastic consent to ruin your
I
character.
did. I wanted
Yeah.
this, but I am afraid for
Bam.
Arden.
Oh
I'm afraid for the rest of Avondale, but that's
I,
okay.
I want to ask this. If a rumor has already been put out there, so like this
Mhm.
rumor came up last week, right? So it's an old rumor that's still being recirculated. Does any more information get added to the rumor? Or is it just the same thing being pushed again?
It's what it is that people are still talking about it essentially
Okay,
because there's only one rumor and scandal phase every 2 sessions because it's one per cycle,
that makes
which
sense.
just means which just means the first cycle rumors that haven't been addressed are just they've gotten from like second page to just not as relevant anymore.
Okay.
Um, and because I'm the facilitator, I can just add more drama with your enthusiastic consent.
You have my enthusiastic consent. I was just wondering if it's like he doesn't love his husband and loves another, doesn't love his wife and loves another, or something
Yeah,
like
if you want
it's
to add
added.
more information, if you want to add more information, you just
You
add
know,
it to the rumor mill.
I would love
Like,
to be surprised when I open the first page because Arden sure will be. So whatever you feel is best. If it's better to leave it alone or you want to add something, you have my enthusiastic consent to
well,
surprise me.
okay, mostly just
Genuinely, you have my.
rumors just stack on top of each other. As you,
We'll
it
see.
would have to be like a separate rumor, but that's okay. Um, we are going to do some post session cleanup, check your do a reputation vibe check in a bit. But for now, we have completed all of our business on stream today. Thank you very much
Woo.
for tuning into Regency Remix Tangled Web, our very, very fun, very odd Regency era sitcom, apparently with Batman
With
vibes now
Batman.
included.
We did
I
it.
am I am so lucky and privileged to work with such a talented and funny and a lovely cast. Um, I would like to give them all a moment to do some outros, and I'm going to start with Megan this time.
Ah, hey, I have been and still am Megan. You can find me on Twitter at Quinot, and then whatever's happening, I'll post it there wherever we're going. And check out $2 Creature Feature, a Monster of the Week actual play podcast. It's released every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. We're coming to the end game, and things are getting awkward. I also play another awkward character, but differently awkward.
That's a solid brand. I love that for you,
Thank you.
Megan. And next, Liz.
Hi, it's me still. I'm Dauntless. You can call me Daunt or Liz. I am a TTRPG content creator, variety streamer here on Twitch. I'm usually live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with shenanigans. And I might go live tonight. I'm kind of feeling it. Don't know where I'm going to start, but you can find out on my Twitter, which is Dawn_Liz. I'm very happy because they just passed 1K on Twitter, and I've been working at that for a long time, so it made me very happy. Thank you to everybody who helped with that. But yeah, you can keep up with what I'm doing, where I'll be, what games I'm guesting in, and everything like that on that platform. And then, of course, on Twitch, where I do the actual shenanigans. Also, I'm still in the process of setting up my start playing, but if you are interested in having me as a GM for a game, if you've ever wanted to play in a one shot, I'm only doing one shots until I get my start playing up, and then I'll offer campaigns as well. But I have been and am a GM. I have done so for years. I do mostly homebrew content, and if you like my playing style and you think you would like to experience it as a player, I on my Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/dauntless. Nailed it. You can book under commission me. I'm smooth as rocks. You can commission me for a group. The prices are designed so you and however many other players, so whether it's you and 3 friends or you and 2 friends, can split the price evenly amongst each other and sit at a table for a one shot. And there are add ons there to extend the time and other cool, fun stuff. That's a great way to support me if you are monetarily able to support. So I would urge you to consider that if you're up for that. Yeah, and I'm just really excited to be here and ruining Arden permanently.
And next, let's throw it over to Anya.
Well, speaking of pro GMing, hi, I'm Anya, aka Lalian Cosplay. The thing down there is incorrect now. I am now Lalian Cosplay, no periods, no anything else, everywhere. So if it's Lalian Cosplay, it's me. I am also a pro GM. I do actually have a game on Wednesday if you want to avoid your relatives of a winter festival game. I think I killed Liz.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm so sorry. I love this.
But yes, that's on my start playing. There are 3 seats left of 5. We'll be playing it no matter what, but it's gonna be really fun. Basically like a winter market, and there's an underlying mystery, and it'll be really fun. I'm also going to be DMing my first module that I wrote on Live from the Apocalypse on Saturday. That is at 4 p.m. Central European, so 10 a.m. Eastern. And that is The Curse of Fate, which is basically like a what's the word? An escape room meets D&D. So it should be really fun, and I'm very much looking forward. It is actually going to be my first time DMing on stream. So that's a new kettle of fish for me. But yes, that's me.
And last but not least, Maddie.
Hello, yes, I am Maddie Searle. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie_abstract, and I have recently, for no reason at all, set up accounts on Hive, Social, and Mastodon. At Maddie Searle, no capitalizations or underscores, just my name, squished together. And if you want to find more of my tabletop gaming stuff, you can head over to Chapter Multiverse podcast or Realms of Peril and Glory podcast and see more of me jamming or playing there. And I have also in the past come up with a little hack of Lasers and Feelings called Vampire Cowboys, where your 2 stats are vampire and cowboy. And you can find that it's only £2 in British money, something similar in dollars, on itch.io/Maddie Searle, or if you just search Vampire Cowboys, you'll probably find it.
That's amazing. I have so many questions that I will ask later.
Everything I ever needed. Like, that's it. That's all I need.
My name is Anne. Hold on, I have to do the thing for myself because I always forget to do it for me. Because I feel weird posting my own stuff. But here it is. Uh, Hi, my name is Anne. I'm the facilitator of this Regency era sitcom. Um, you can find me on Twitter at XO_Girl Wonder. You can find me on Hive Social at Girl Wonder if you care for that stuff. The link in the Twitch chat is a link of all of the actual play things that I have been in recently. Uh, we've got old VODs in the archives and a list of streams that I am currently featured on. It's great. I would love to invite all of you to tune in tonight at 7:30. Eastern Time for Arcane Core Seekers. If you're a Monster of the Week fan, Keeper Sade and their table are uh, they are an amazing storyteller, and it's one of the very first limited series that was run on this channel, and they're doing the back half of their season 2. So if you're interested in Monster of the Week, I encourage you to come back tonight. um if you enjoy the content that we are putting out and you can monetarily afford to do so, or if you have a Amazon Prime subscription, you can use that monthly sub, throw it at Girls Run These Worlds, because we love what we're doing and we are telling stories and we're out here, uh, women, femmes, marginalized genders, just doing our thing. And we could use the support if you can afford to. We also have a Ko-Fi and some other links that have been posted in chat somewhere. Or go to Twitter, Girls Run Worlds, and find all of the links there. Um, I cannot explain how grateful I am for this channel and the people who said, hey, you can run games, you can tell your stories, here's the opportunity to do it. And I have been a part of multiple amazing tables, uh, as a player and as a facilitator. And it means the world to me that there are people out there who are watching this, and people out there joining in and telling their own stories. If you are interested, there's a pinned tweet on Twitter as well. If you want to pitch your own stories, I believe we're booking into March now for limited series and stuff. Like, there's a lot of rad stuff happening, and I encourage you, if you are femme or marginalized gender, or you know a woman who wants to tell stories, join us. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me, not gonna lie. um, that being said, I am going to see, I haven't even checked for a raid target today. If you could hang on for just a couple of minutes, I will set us up with a raid. But for now, we will see you next week, same time, same channel, for more Regency Remixed. Bye.
Bye bye.